Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to share something with you guys. I was working today and was riding around, and I went past a place that I'm kind of familiar with. Let me show it to you. Let's see. All right, you see this big place? It looks like a castle, but it was actually a training ground some years ago for the military. And I found out through doing some research on my own family history that my grandfather was trained at this particular place some years ago. So I did that research, I don't know, a couple years ago, and I found out that he was trained at this military training camp, and they would train, at that time in the 1800s, military was segregated, so they had a black regiment that was separate from the other regiments, of course, the colored regiment, they called it. And so my grandfather was a part of that, and I knew that history, but I was riding today and I saw something that they erected on this site, which was a blessing to me. So I'm gonna show you real quick. I was riding by, and you see how it says Dexter Training Grounds. So it says here, let me read it to you. In the summer of 1863, nearly 1,800 African-American recruits from Rhode Island and around the country set up Camp Fremont on the Dexter Training Grounds. And so this was a training camp for African-American soldiers. And this sign they just put here, again, I did the research a couple years ago. I found out my grandfather trained here, but just to see an African-American soldier in this picture, and his name was John Sharper, 1863. And that was just a blessing. I said, let me see who this guy is. Like I said, this sign they just put up, I just happened to notice it riding by. So that's a little history. It kind of makes me feel good and proud that my grandfather served and was part of that. My grandfather's name was Thomas Church Thomas, or Thomas C. Thomas. Thomas C. Thomas. And he was a member of the African-American regiment that trained here, the 14th Regiment. He was also a member of that same regiment. So I want to share that little historical moment with you. This is a blessing. If you're in Providence, right on Cranston Street, look for the training grounds, 300 and something, I think 320 Cranston Street, or somewhere in that area, some of those numbers. The corner of Cranston and Parade, or between Parade and Dexter. Cranston Street and Parade and Dexter. And that's the intersection. But that's some very interesting history, and that blessed me to see this. God bless you. Thank you.